My dear brothers and sisters, today, 29th of Dhul-Qa'dah, corresponds with the martyrdom of Al-Imam Muhammad Al-Jawad alayhi salam. Al-Imam Muhammad Al-Jawad was one of the most genius men history have ever witnessed. At age 9, he proved that he is fit for the post he was assigned for, and that is to be the Imam and the leader of all Muslims. Now, this privilege given to the family of Ahlul Bayt, the knowledge given to them, the intelligence given to them, the aura and the haiba given to them. This prompts the enemy often to open fire at them, to be jealous and to be conniving and to plan schemes against this family. And the Imam alayhi salam is one example. So when people started talking about his knowledge and his intelligence, though he is so young, this prompted hasad and jealousy in the heart of the ruler Al-Mu'tasim, who ruled after Al-Ma'mun. One day, Al-Mu'tasim was in his chamber surrounded by so many scholars, high caliber scholars. When he was told that there is a thief and the judiciary power decided to execute the rule of Islam by cutting his hand, there was some confusion on how to cut his hand and where. Is it from the wrist? More, less? Where do we cut his hand from? The Quran does not specify. The Quran says if those conditions are met, there are 27 conditions, by the way. You cannot just go ahead and cut anybody's hand because he stole $1 or $2. There are so many conditions. One condition is that the ruler himself has to be a clean person, not a thief himself. The problem is, in some countries now, I don't need to point out which countries. In some countries in the Middle East where they cut the hand of the thief, they forget to cut the hand of the big thief. And the big thief is someone who sits in the royal palace calling himself a king or a president or emir. If there is true justice, they should cut the hand of the big thief. Not that they go after a poor person out of starvation would shoplift something trivial and then they cut his hand. That's not justice. True justice starts from up down, starts with the highest ranking official. So a thief was brought and scholars disputed among themselves on how to cut his hand. Al-Imam Al-Jawad alayhi salam was sitting there and he would not say a word. He would not participate in this discussion. Al-Mu'tasim, the caliph, turns to the Imam and he says, "What do you think, Ya Ibn Rasulullah?" The Imam says, "Please, leave me alone. I would rather not say, not give my opinion." Al-Mu'tasim insisted that you should tell us your opinion. How do we cut the hand of a thief? The Imam insisted not to give his opinion. He says, "You have so many scholars in your chamber now, you can ask any of them. You don't need my opinion." He says, "No, I need your opinion." The Imam alayhi salam says, if you're to cut the hand of a thief, then you should cut it from here, from the fingers. And you leave the palm. You cannot cut the palm. And everybody else disagreed. So Al-Mu'tasim asked the Imam alayhi salam, how does he reason that? How does he prove that? Where did he get that ruling from? That the hand, when the Quran says, وَالسَّارِقُ وَالسَّارِقَةُ فَاقْطَعُوا أَيْدِيَهُمَا, the male thief and female thief cut their hand. The hand meant the fingers, not the entire hand. The Imam says it is in the Quran. See, my dear brothers and sisters, many of us read the Quran, but not everybody understands Quran fully the way Ahlul Bayt do. It needs a man like Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib to understand it. It needs a man like Imam Al-Jawad to understand it. The Imam alayhi salam says, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in one verse says, وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ. Every person has 7 masjid. Now when we talk about the masjid, we're not talking about this masjid, the structure. Masajid are reference to the limbs with which you do sujood when you go to sujood. 1 is your forehead, 2 and 3 are your palms, 4 and 5 your knees, 6 and 7 your toes. Those are the masajid. The 7 masajid, the 7 limbs that you have to make sujood with. So the Imam says, Allah says in the Quran, وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدِ. This is masajid, this is masjid. وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ. You leave masajid for Allah. فَلَا تَدْعُ مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. He says, this does not belong to nobody. This belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you were to cut his hand, you cannot deny him his palm, because his palm belongs to Allah at the time of sujood. When he does sujood and salah, he needs his palm. If you cut his hand, he has no palm to do sujood with. Therefore, you cannot cut the entire hand. Al-Mu'tasim was astonished by the knowledge, the deep knowledge of the Imam and his analysis of the Quran. Al-Mu'tasim tells everybody else that I choose what this man says, and the thief should be cut from his fingers, and I follow the opinion of Muhammad Al-Jawad. Now, one guy, one scholar who was so jealous, Ibn Abi Dawood, he's an older man, but he was so jealous of the Imam. He goes to Al-Mu'tasim and he instigates a fitna. Out of jealousy toward the Imam, why Al-Mu'tasim embraced the opinion of the Imam and not his own opinion, he decided to instigate a fitna. And the Quran says, Al-fitnatu ashaddu min al-qatl. To do fitna, cause fitna is worse than murder. So this man goes to Al-Mu'tasim and he tries to instigate fitna, and he does. He tells him, did you know what you did today? By embracing the opinion of this man, you gave him so much power. This man, Muhammad Al-Jawad, so many people in your country believe that he is the true Imam. You gave him so much credit and legitimacy today. This is a self-defeating step you did. This is your enemy, and you are, referring to Imam Al-Jawad, this is your enemy, and you are boosting your enemy's power by embracing his opinion before other people. Al-Mu'tasim, unfortunately, who was very vulnerable toward the schemes, he decided then to kill the Imam alayhi salam. And that's when he sent the poison to his niece, who was married to Imam alayhi salam, and she did put the poison in his drink, and the Imam alayhi salam died as a shaheed, as a martyr.